Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're looking at a deeply sobering story, one that really brings the realities of our modern, convenience-driven economy into very sharp focus. We're going to examine the tragic hit-and-run death of a 25-year-old food delivery agent named Rajkumar. It's a truly heartbreaking sequence of events that recently unfolded in West Delhi. But, more than just a standard news report, this is a story that tells us a whole lot about the unseen human element behind the services that millions of us use every single day.
Okay, let's dive into this. 1. That is exactly how many weeks Rajkumar had been in Delhi. Just one single week full of hope before his life was so abruptly, tragically cut short. He'd literally just arrived in the bustling capital to start this brand new job as a delivery executive, which, honestly, just makes this sudden loss even more shocking. So how exactly did this happen? Well, it was a Thursday morning. At exactly 7:35 a.m., the police control room received an urgent, frantic call. The report? A man had fallen from the Dabri Flyover on Panka Road and needed immediate medical help. When the police rushed to the scene, the stark reality of the crash was right there waiting for them. They found a badly damaged scooter and a completely abandoned car. The preliminary inquiry suggests the car rammed right into his scooter, causing Rajkumar to lose control and, tragically, fall from the flyover. He sustained extremely serious injuries. He was rushed to a nearby hospital in an ambulance, but ultimately, doctors had to declare him dead. But beyond the clinical details of a police blotter, we really have to ask ourselves, who was Rajkumar? Because he wasn't just another headline or some statistic on the morning commute. He was a 25-year-old young man, a native of the Gaya district over in Jharkhand. And like millions of others across the country, he was a migrant worker. He came to the big cities searching for a better life, stepping into the gig economy to find some steady work to support himself and his family back home. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale of his determination. It maps out this relentless cross-country journey in search of opportunity. Several years ago, Rajkumar and his friend Mahavir, who actually hailed from a neighboring village, left Jharkhand together. They first traveled way down south to Chennai, working as security guards. Then they moved over to Bengaluru. And finally, just 1 week ago, their journey brought them up north to Delhi, settling in the Sagarpur neighborhood. That's where Rajkumar joined a food delivery company. It just paints such a vivid picture of the immense distances people will travel in search of a livelihood, doesn't it?
Let's move to and see how this builds into the ongoing legal response. Because right now, as everyone is trying to process this tragedy, the person responsible is still out there. DCP West, Daraday Shard Bhaskar, is leading the inquiry. As we noted, the driver of the car completely fled the scene right after the collision, just leaving their vehicle behind on the flyover. So the absolute top priority for the authorities right now is tracing and apprehending that individual so they can be brought to justice.
So, the crucial point is that while the driver ran away, they actually left a massive piece of evidence behind, the abandoned car. Police have already traced the vehicle's registration, and it turns out it's registered right there in Delhi, specifically to a man from the Dabri area. This gives the authorities a direct, actionable lead. Because of this, they've registered a case under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Specifically, they filed charges under Section 125A, which covers acts endangering the life or personal safety of others, and Section 106, for causing death by negligence. The police are actively undertaking efforts to trace the driver using this exact registration data as we speak. But to truly understand the heavy weight of this event, we have to look past the legal codes and police actions and really examine the heartbreaking aftermath. Rajkumar wasn't alone in Delhi. He actually lived with his roommate, Mahavir, the very same friend who had migrated across the country with him for all those years. Getting Mahavir's firsthand account of that morning provides a truly devastating perspective on just how quickly and how unexpectedly life can change for these workers. Now, what's really interesting about this detail is how utterly, completely normal it sounds. Listen to this. He called me in the morning and asked me to come to our regular tea stall. That was Mahavir's recollection of his very last conversation with his best friend. It was just a totally routine Thursday morning grab for tea. But within just half an hour, that perfectly mundane morning turned into an absolute nightmare. Mahavir tried calling him back, and the phone just rang and rang, unanswered. The very next call Mahavir actually picked up was from the police, delivering the horrific news of the crash. And that brings us to this incredibly devastating reality. Mahavir said, "I don't have the heart to face him. I had told him I would take care of Rajkumar." He's talking, of course, about Rajkumar's father. Back in their native village in Jharkhand, A farmer is currently waiting. He is waiting for the return of his 25-year-old son's body. Right now, Rajkumar's body has been preserved in a mortuary for a post-mortem examination to officially ascertain the exact cause of death. And that incredibly heavy burden now falls directly on Mahavir. He feels this agonizing sense of responsibility, having to return home under the most tragic circumstances you could possibly imagine. It really forces all of us to pause for a second, doesn't it, to reflect on the broader picture here. As we rely increasingly on this invisible workforce to bring hot meals right to our doors, who truly bears the cost of our convenience? Rajkumar's story is a stark, tragic reminder of the immense, completely unseen risks taken every single day by migrant gig workers, people navigating dangerous city streets just to make a basic living. It's a profound loss of a young life, and it leaves us with some very uncomfortable questions we all need to deeply consider. Thank you for joining me for this explainer.